Hello. Good evening. Hello, my darlings. How are you guys doing this evening? No, I'm not cooking tonight. I'm tired. So, you guys, I I called this meeting. Okay, let me stop. Let me bless the live. Y'all know I gotta bless the live. So the trolls they gonna come, and hopefully you get a good message. My Palo Santo, because it reminds me of church. I just love it so much. Okay, so if you come up in here with your energy, I'm gonna just block you, so it doesn't matter. This is a dress. Isn't it cute actually? I mean, it looks pretty good. Okay. And you guys, this is from like a cheap company. Some company sent me this. I don't remember. I don't remember. So, but I've seen a lot of Instagram girls wear this outfit. I want to say, I'm pretty sure you can find this on like Fashion Nova or uh, one of these websites. Um, no, I'm not doing keto, you guys. I'm not. Keto stopped working for me. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I said it. Keto stopped working for me. Keto stopped working for me. So we got to move on to something else. At this point, the only thing left to do is to go vegan. So if you see me out here going vegan, mind your business. And the only reason why I say that is because you know how people be like, she going vegan, and I'm like, excuse me, okay, maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, we are going through interesting times. Mind your business. Shoot, I'm trying to lose weight any means necessary. So if I gotta go vegan, I guess that's what we gonna have to do. um, but yeah, keto stopped working for me, and I was tired of sitting at a plateau. So now we're just gonna have to figure it out. When I figure it out, I will let you guys know what I'm gonna be doing next. But right now, it's gym. That is necessary. That's not even up for debate. Okay, gym, 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 gym. Now, if I could just find some leggings that don't rip, that would be great. But gym, and now I feel like I don't know. I feel like I can't get rid of this. I feel like this is my grown woman weight. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Like, you know how you can feel your body, it's like carrying weight that it didn't carry before. Like I've always been a hippie, curvy girl. But now I'm like, girl, you look like somebody's mama. Like your hips and your thighs, like you could be somebody's mama. I don't got no kids now, but I'm saying, like, it's like the weight is just different. And it's just this is why I say some of the things that I say. It's just a lot. It's like when I walk now, it's like mama coming through, not girl, move out the way. It's like that. It's different. I'm adjusting. That's all I can say. Hormonal, it's something. It's different. It's different. That's all I can say. So now, yeah, I'm filling out too much. um But listen, as a woman, you gotta learn how to adapt. That's what this live is all about. I hope y'all ready. Let me show y'all my picture. Hold on, let me play my intro because I gotta play my intro and then I'm gonna be back because we gonna get into this. It's a lot. It's a lot. Somebody said hot mama, some. But let me play my intro and then we're gonna get into this because I just need I need to debunk the rating system for male logic. Just give me a sec. I gotta pull up the receipts. I'll be back. Let me play my intro. Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it. Cause I'm a boss. Oh, hell no. Okay, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for this? Okay, so first of all, I'm making this video because I wanted to, male logic. Y'all know how that is. It don't make sense. So I just wanted to show you guys something really quick because I'm very proud of this. But hopefully, with the new year, you guys are being encouraged to level up. Okay, and we're not doing it for men; we're doing it for ourselves because men are disappointing. No shade; it's just the truth. Um, but I wanted to show you guys this throwback picture that I have. You should follow me on Instagram if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, real Yanni, if you want to. I just wanted to show you guys where I started. Okay. And I really do. I need y'all to see my face. I really do feel like this could be you. This could definitely be you. But if you on here listening to these men, well, and I will say this, when I was on my level up journey, we didn't have men on the internet trying to tell you that you can't better yourself or you can't want more for yourself, that you're a 5 and you must settle, or a 4 and you must settle. If I would have been listening to these male logic content creators with rating systems, then yeah, I guess they were right. But I didn't do that. I believe that anything is possible. That was my mindset. I was very optimistic. I felt like if I worked hard and I put in the work and I really tried to level up and work on myself, I felt like I could receive whatever I wanted, you know? So now I still get harassed by Dusties. Oh, y'all thought I was gonna be like, yeah, girl, I got me a man now. And no, I still get harassed by Dusties, but I will say I'm in a better place. I will say I'm in a better place. I'm in a better place. So make sure you go to the gym and you're doing it for yourself, because if you make it about these men, you'll lose all the weight that you need to lose, that they say you need to lose, and still be irritated with their behavior. So you better go and do it for yourself, okay? Because y'all, I was I was leaving the gym, and why there was a group of men at the bus stop trying to holler at me, and I'm like, is this my life right now? I'm getting hollered at leaving the gym by a group of men that's at the bus stop. So I just wanted to show you guys this because listen, anything is possible. Okay. To the girls that they say they have a fupa and all of that. Listen, I had a fupa too. Some say it wasn't that bad, but I have other pictures. I just don't put them on the internet. So you can do anything that you put your mind to, and with hard work, with hard work, you can do anything. Okay, stop listening to these people that don't allow you to dream. You can still dream. If I stop dreaming and I just settled, well, yeah, nothing is going to change. So I really do believe that you can do anything anything in this world that you put your mind to. Okay? Because that is the only way I made it this far. I decided that I wanted better. I decided that I wanted more. I decided that I wanted to change my life. I decided that this was just not it for me. And I saw my life, I saw the woman that I saw in my mind wasn't who I was seeing in the mirror. So that's when I decided, like, okay, you know what? I'm going to actually like try. I'm going to put in effort. And all you can do is try. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect, but just try and see where that gets you. Okay? Now, let's get into this TikTok video because that is why you guys are here today. I came across this TikTok video, and you guys, I hate these conversations, but they need to be had because we live in a very shallow world. And I've been on both sides now. Like, now I can honestly say I've been on both sides. Like, I've been on the side where you're not seen as the most attractive, you're overlooked a lot. People feel like how you look is unacceptable. You don't get a lot of attention. And so now I'm on the other side. And it's, the other side has its cons too. Both sides have their cons. And, now that I'm on the attractive side, people think I'm like dumb. I shouldn't be smart. I have no intellect. And oh my gosh, don't be. It's almost like you can't have beauty and brains. Like you can just have one or the other. And it's like, I'm really dealing with that because I have a bubbly personality. I like to be a little bubbly. um, Men like they try to get over on you. Like they think that you're dumb or you're naive because you're bubbly. God, I like to have a good time. I don't like being mad about things after 5 minutes. I mean, I like to move on. So, if you're attractive and bubbly, they think you're stupid. It's like, oh my God, or naive. That's my favorite. And then y'all know how black don't crack, right? But you got black men on here talking about black women hitting a wall, whatever. I got men thinking I'm like 20, 21, 22 years old without makeup on, without weave, without makeup and everything like that. And so I deal with a lot of older men, like in their 40s, 45, approach me and they think like I'm the 20 something, early 20 something year old girl that's just ditzy, bubbly, and I'm naive and I could be taken advantage of. It's crazy. So there's cons on both sides. And then when I was on the other side, the more unattractive side, I don't honestly, I feel like the other side is worse. And the reason is because people really treat you like you're invisible. It's like in certain settings or in certain environments, I have a hard time. But everywhere I went, when you're on the unattractive side, it didn't matter who you were around, where you were around, like you're invisible. You're invisible. You're invisible. So now that I'm in the position to be the attractive friend or the attractive girl in the bunch or the group or whatever like that, I really try to make sure like no one feels left out. No one is feeling like they are being isolated while out in a social setting or group. And I feel like every girl should think about these things and be considerate. Um, if a guy approaches, like he needs to introduce himself to us all and not just introduce himself to me. Or one thing I cannot stand, y'all, I cannot stand this. Don't talk to my friend if you're really trying to get at me. I think that is like so rude. And we're getting to an age where it's like it's not even attractive. It's like if you're approaching me, why not, introduce yourself? If I'm out with someone else, introduce yourself to them as well. And then, start a conversation, but don't just I don't like that. I don't like that. I think it's rude. It's very rude and it makes me uncomfortable and I just don't like that. So, yeah, I've been on both sides and like I said, both sides have their cons, but I just feel like the unattractive side is the worst because it doesn't matter who you're with, who you're around. People just they don't see you. They don't see you. So I make sure to see people like I do. I make sure to really see people. I make sure to listen to people. I make sure to make people feel like they matter, how they feel is valid. And I don't just over talk, like I don't dismiss people. So Yes, it's very, very rude. It's very rude. But let's start this video. I think you guys are gonna like it. Hold on, is this the original? Oh wait, this is the original video. I was trying to get the one off the internet. Maybe they won't have any maybe this won't have any oh gosh. Maybe it won't have any commercials. If it has commercials, I'm gonna just switch over. But let's go ahead and play this really quick because I thought this video was interesting. Oh wait, that is not the right one.
Random big girl memory. Tell me if you relate to this. When you will go out with your friend that is conventionally more attractive than you, and on the rare occasion that a guy approached you over your friend would get all fucking annoyed and flustered and pissed off and just end up standing there being like, this is lame, like, let's go, blah, blah, blah. Because they're just so not used to not being the first pick over you that it's actually like annoying to them that for once they're the one left to third wheel. Where if it was the other way around, they wouldn't give a fuck about you standing there with her purse and your purse being like, fun. That a guy approached you over your friend would get all fucking annoyed and flustered.
So I've always been the ugly friend, the fat friend, the duff of my friends, if you will. And a few years ago, my best friend at the time moved together to Dallas. And around 3 or 4 months of us living together, I got a date. I hadn't been on a date in a super long time. I was so excited. And I was expecting her to do normal best friend things before the date to help me get ready, like hyping me up, helping me get ready, stuff like that. And she was just being a fucking bitch for no reason. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So I sat down, tried to talk with her. She was pissed off about it. Then she finally, after 15 minutes of ignoring me while I'm getting ready, comes to me and says, I just didn't think that you would be getting a date before me. What?
Random big girl memory. Tell me if you relate to this. When you will go out with your friend that is...
So this has happened to me, and I'm not even that big of a girl. This one friend I have, she obviously thinks she's the alpha of the pack, the prettiest one, yada, yada, yada. We went out to a party, doesn't matter. There was 2 sets of twins. She wanted one.
Okay, hold on. I was trying to stop it. Wait. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack here. Okay, this is triggering for me. I don't know about you guys, but it's very triggering to me. Because first off, the first girl that was talking, the one with the black top, okay? You know, it makes it seem like her friend only has her around because she is automatically placed on a pedestal when they hang out. And I have learned that within the last, especially this year, I think it really hit me the hardest that a lot of people kept me around because I wasn't doing better than them, or and this is perception. This isn't based off of how I feel. This is perception based off of how they view me. And so I started to see a shift in friends that a lot of them only kept me around because I wasn't competing with them in social settings. I wasn't competing with them when it came to certain things. Like, I don't know, like it could be even finances and things like that. And so I noticed that with my recent level up within my glow up or within my level up journey, that people really they really compete with you, or they'll keep you around just because they know or they think, they believe, again, it's off perception based off of how they feel or how they view you. They will keep you around because they don't believe that you'll ever amount to anything that would ever compete with them or amount to anything that's better than them. And so recently, apparently, y'all, if you buy a car, you lose some weight, you start loving yourself, right? You see people's true colors. And this is why when I came across this TikTok video on YouTube, I was like, oh my God, this is so triggering because I have gone through these similar experiences, but it's kind of like reversed. It's reversed. And so there have been people that I have been friends with for years, you guys. I'm talking about for a very long time. They were there when I wasn't my best. Oh my God, someone made a spam account. Um, it it's like they are, it's almost, I don't even want to say that it's jealous. I want to say that it is, I don't, maybe a little envious, maybe envy, maybe envy. Oh yeah, I blocked it. Maybe it's envy. I don't know. And I don't feel like jealousy is a bad thing. I think it's only bad when jealousy is being projected in a negative way, because jealousy stems from a person wanting more from themselves. And so they may look to you and be like, oh, I want what she has, or I want exactly what she gets that it does. It's because she wants better, right? But the only time that it becomes negative is when they start to project it. They start to project it onto you in such a negative way. And so then it starts to impact the relationship. It's, you start seeing how they treat you differently and things like that, or they treat you in a negative way. That's when it becomes bad. But sometimes jealousy is not always bad. Sometimes it can be seen as inspiration. Like one day I want to become just like this or just like that. Like there are people out here like, oh, I want to be the next, Michelle Obama. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a thin line between inspiration and jealousy. And having jealousy, everybody experiences having a little jealousy. It's what you do with it that makes or break whether or not it's bad. And I think we need to start normalizing that jealousy is normal. It's a normal emotion that you may feel, but what you do with that emotion, how you project it to the world and to others, is what truly matters. Because some people, yes, envy is what's dangerous. When somebody envy you, that's what's dangerous. Jealousy, jealousy is actually very fairly normal. It's what you do with the jealousy that's really the issue. So if you feel jealous towards someone, it's not really that bad. It's what you do with it, you guys, because jealousy is a normal emotion. But envy is dangerous. When somebody envies you, it's almost like they hate you to a certain extent. So you got to be careful with that. But yeah, jealousy could be motivational. Jealousy could be inspirational. As long as you're not projecting it outward in a negative way. Maybe you're fueling it to motivate yourself to do certain things or to reach certain success. There's nothing wrong with that. So jealousy is a normal emotion. I made a video years ago that I kind of cringe at it now because I'm like, oh my God, if only I would have known, because I've gone to therapy, that jealousy is so normal. It's a normal emotion. I probably wouldn't have made that video. So if you feel jealous towards someone, it's okay. It's all about what you do with it. If you turn that jealousy into envy, that's when you have a problem. But let's continue because I want to see what else they have to say. And you have to be careful with being the big friend, because I've dealt with this, being the bigger friend or being the unattractive friend. People keep you around to make themselves feel better, but they really don't value you as a friend. And I feel like you deserve better than that. You deserve way better than that.
He didn't want her. He proceeded to tell his friends he wants to talk to me. She called me to tell me every single flaw that this man had to try and dissuade me from talking to him. She even had the nerve to be like, well, he likes girls your size. And mind you, I'm not plus size or anything. So I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, this is me, guys. She then proceeds to call me almost every day to ask how me and him are doing after she gave us her quote-unquote blessing to let them talk. Worst part, she dates his brother, who she didn't even like at all. The twin brother she didn't like. It's weird.
When you will go out with your friend that is conventionally more attractive than you.
This was a little bit hard to stitch, but she's talking about going out with.
Listen, you guys, everyone's saying jealousy is a lower vibration. Yes, that's very true. We all have a shadow side though. You're human, you guys. Don't allow your spirituality to be fake. Deal with the things that you emotionally feel. And sometimes it's not always the best. You do have a shadow side and you balance it out with your light. So sometimes you may feel jealous when it comes to another person. Whenever a baby is born, right, and there's an older sibling, that older sibling sometimes experiences jealousy, right? And it's not always projected in the best way, but it's not like the child is intentionally trying to be mean or trying to be rude or anything like that. It's really about how they emotionally feel because they feel like they're being replaced. So it just depends. Like you got shadow work, you have to do that. You can't skip that part and be fake about your spirituality. And you know what? I've been seeing that a lot lately. Because I'm like, I try to make friends with people that are spiritual, and then I get close to them. I'm like, oh, so you're really not all that spiritual, because it's fake. It's very surface level. The only way your spirituality is not fake is when you actually do the shadow work. You can't just ignore that part. You have to do the work. So I ain't coming at nobody, but I'm saying like jealousy is a normal emotion. It's a bad one. It's not the best. Just like anger isn't either. It's what you do with it. It is what you do with it. Now, envy, no, that's different. That's completely different. Envy is really bad. It can lead to fatal attraction. If somebody is envy of you, you need to get away from them. And envy to me is someone that's copying you. They copy every little thing that you do. You know, you dealing with envious or envy people is when people start calling y'all twins. This done happened to me twice. People, it has happened to me twice. Now I do come on, well, back then, and this is why I stopped doing makeup tutorials and hair tutorials and stuff like that, because I started to get a little creeped out by people that I know, not people on the internet. Not people on the internet, by people that I actually know, started to kind of like look like me. And I'm like, wait a minute. People start calling you twins and stuff like that. They copy you, they mirror everything that you do because they may have a little hidden envy of you. And it's a bad obsession, which is not, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. So you gotta be careful with that. And I've dealt with this, I will say, envy twice, jealousy, really bad jealousy once when I was a child by a family member, and then two friends in my adult life. And it was just very weird because in the beginning, I was an inspiration. And then somehow, y'all, I don't even know what it was. Somehow it turned into something much greater than that. And so it's crazy how you got to be careful of this. When you start your level up journey, you may be the biggest inspiration within your friend group. And it's kind of like fake positivity, like they're rooting for you, but they don't believe that you'll actually be successful. And then you look up and you're actually being successful. You're staying consistent. They're able to see the new changes in you now. And so it becomes this, now it's like, oh, I'm not inspired by you. I may be envious of you, jealous of you, and now I see you as competition. And that's what sucks. Cause like I felt like I had like a really good friend group until recently. I'm like, this friend group was so fake. It was so fake. And I was a little mad at myself because I was like, why did I keep certain people around like this? You know, it makes you think about who you were when you met them. And to be honest, who you were when you met them isn't who you are now because you've worked on yourself. So I just don't want people to feel bad that if they feel like they're jealous of someone, that it's necessarily a bad thing. It's all about what you do with that emotion that makes it bad or not. What is your intentions behind the jealousy that you may have? So it kind of sucks. And when you start a level up journey, you're going to lose friends. And some of the friends that you lose will be situations like this where you're the unattractive friend, and now you're getting attention versus before you're not. So, okay, let's continue.
Friends that are more conventionally attractive than you are, and then you somehow get attention first over them and how they react to it. I get that all the time. And I'll add one more. There are people that are conventionally attractive that specifically make sure that they go out with friends who are conventionally less attractive than them in order to always be the hottest person in the room. So then they will always get all of the attention and they will never be the one left behind. Watching someone physically uncomfortable because they are not getting the attention that they want and it's being directed at my body instead, you can absolutely see it is physical discomfort that the hot one didn't get the attention. And sometimes those friendships are irreparably damaged because I notice everything.
Rare occasion that a guy approached you over your friend.
I
Your
like
friend
that
would
girl. I
get
don't know
all
who
fucked
she
I have
was,
an
but I like
experience
her.
like this, except obviously everyone was a lesbian. But I was at a party one time and I was there with some friends. One of them was like really cute, little skinny, blue-eyed, blonde hair girl, and the other like were just friends, right? And then another girl was there who I'd been on a date with before, and like we would see each other in like parties and stuff and like chat, whatever, flirt basically. And my little blonde friend, she knew that. But she also thought that this girl was really attractive. So at one point she goes into the living room when the girl that I had like a flirting kind of situation with was in there, like sits on her lap and just like starts kissing her, just like completely goes for it. And you know, it was fine because it was like a party and it wasn't like, I guess, that weird. But later that same girl comes to find me and you know, we have a little something. Blonde girl finds out. And then afterwards, she's like so annoyed with me. She's like, oh, of course she picked you because I'm just so little that I'm not attractive. I'm so small. Bitch.
Random big girl memory. Tell me if you relate to this.
I wanted to stitch this real quick because I have something to say. Yes, I know that feeling because my ex-best friend, she was like an attention seeker. She was a pick-me. She was a pick-me girl. So I'm not big, like big, but I am a little chunky. You know, I got some meat on me. And people will always be like, oh, you're really big because your arms. No, I just have meaty arms, okay? But everything else is like a little smaller. But that's not the point. But
You let
whenever
them know,
guys would
sis.
come at me and be like, oh, what's up? And they will like totally total hold on, don't worry about my stroke. But she would always like comment on certain things. Like she'd be like, oh, you don't think her pants is too tight? You don't see that her gut is kind of bulging out? You don't see that her eyelash is falling off? Oh, you don't see that her hair smells like product? Don't you want somebody natural like me? Or she wouldn't say anything at all. She would sit there and she would get mad and she would start to hit me, or she would start calling me names like, oh, fat ass.
Random big girl memory. Tell me if you relate to this.
This part too I got caught up, but she would always like just comment on the way that I look, comment on the way that I dress, and she would like get mad. You could tell in the face she was annoyed. And I would sit there like, what's wrong? She'd be like, nothing. Like, I want to go home, or I want to leave. Or like out of nowhere she'll start like being real flirty with the dude, and she'll start talking. Like she'll look to me and she'll be like, story time real quick. I remember this one guy, he was like, oh, he walked up to her, he was really fine. He was like, oh, and she was like smiling like, She was like, oh, what's your homegirl's number? He was talking about me. And she was like, oh, I don't know, I just got a new phone, I don't have her number. Not knowing that this girl has had this phone for fucking years. She was like, oh, I don't have her number, I just got a new phone, but like, what's up with me and you? And he was like, oh no, I like more chunkier girls. And she was like, oh, you're a fat chaser. I'm like, but yeah, I just wanted to write real quick. Bye.
Random big girl memory. Tell me if you relate to this. When you will go out with your friend that...
Okay, so I've never been the ugly friend. I've never been the fat friend. I ain't never been none of those friends, but I have been the dark skin friend. And basically, one time I was friends with one of my coworkers. I had been working at this job probably about 9 months longer than she had been there, right? So basically, one of the jobs that we worked at had a Christmas party, and basically the area that we were at, it was other bars around that area. So some of the people who worked at those other bars had came to this Christmas party. So my friend and / coworker did not come to this party, right? So one of our other friends, he worked at a different establishment, invited me to their Christmas party, and they only had 1+1, right? So she wasn't at this party, and I told her about him inviting me to the party, right? And she literally told me to my face in front of other people that I bet if I told him I wanted to go, he would uninvite you and invite me.
Rare occasion that a guy approached you over your friend would get all...
So I'm not the ugly friend. However, I am the tall friend. So my shorter friends did get a lot more attention than me when we went out together. And there was this one friend in particular. She was my best friend out of the group. She was shorter than me and she had like a really big butt. So anytime we go somewhere, she'd get a lot of attention because of it. She wore like super revealing clothes, no shame in that. But the one time that I, outdressed her, got my hair done really nice, my makeup and everything for my birthday, we went to a hookah lounge and I was getting a lot of attention and she was not used to that because guys normally don't approach me. They're intimidated by my height. So tell me why this girl got so upset that she left me in that club with a whole bunch of random guys I never met because she was mad that I was getting more attention to her. Yep, I should have ended that friendship right then and there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that just, you know what? I can relate to the tall friend, the tall girlfriend story too. Y'all, this is it's 2022. We got to start picking better friends. We got to start picking better friends. You shouldn't be in a friend group or what you should be friends with somebody you got to compete with. So if they putting you down, or if they're making you feel like you're not worth anything, like they're constant. And listen, friends can put you down in ways that are very subtle. Like they can do it in a joking way, they can do it in a slick comment type of way, they can do it in a way like it's so dismissive, like it's not a big deal. Some of y'all's friends could be narcissistic. Yep, I said it. You shouldn't be around people that make you feel bad. And I mean, every situation that these girls talked about, I mean, they walked away from those situations, I'm sure, feeling very bad, and you shouldn't be around people that make you feel bad like that, like at all. At all. So I'm gonna share my story, which I haven't really told any, like I haven't gone into great details about this story, but I'm gonna share my story because I feel like it needs to be heard. Um, One thing that I have learned with all of this that's taking place is, people don't want to see you do well all the time. Like I thought that I really had this naive mindset that, oh, because I want people to do well genuinely, like truly authentically want to see people do well, that they are like that in return. And I thought that I was surrounding myself around people like that, but that is not the truth. So my first incident happened with my ex roommate, and I told you guys this story, and I couldn't believe that situation because we were definitely trauma bonding for sure. That's kind of how our friendship started off. Our friendship started off because we were trauma bonding. We grew up in a household that was toxic, and so we roomed together thinking that that would be a good idea, which at the time it was because we were able to get away from our toxic parents. But the reality was, I didn't think that she would treat me the way that she did once we became close. And so it was a kind of like a situation where you're in trio friend groups. They never work out. Okay. If you're wondering, they never work out. And I'm about to tell you why. And this is why I will never, ever, 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 ever do trio friendships. Ever. I have my friend over here. 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 So the reason why the situation went south was because me and my roommate, we were just getting into it over like really dumb stuff, petty stuff. And I felt like every time I would go home, I would have to walk on eggshells. And it was like rolling the dice. She was just always if I could really, I thought maybe she was a little bipolar. And then think about it. I'm an empath and I'm dealing with someone that may have like a mental illness. I'm not even saying this to be funny, but she was just extremely moody. Like some days I would come home, she would be happy, she would be upbeat, she would be really fun to be around. And then other days she would just be like really down, really mad and just toxic. And so I had to deal with that every day. But we also had a mutual friend and we all used to hang out together and we used to do things together. And when we got into a really weird place, when we got into a very like not a good place, I started confining into our mutual friend emotionally. Oh, somebody said that was my old roommate too. I'm like, girl, we room with the same person, but no, that's crazy. That's why I'm like, let me share my stories real quick. Story time. Um, so we had a mutual friend, and so I was confining into this mutual friend emotionally, and the whole time this girl was running back and twisting my words and making it seem like, I had some type of issue with her. And it wasn't that I had an issue with her, because I really believe, anything can work out if we just talk about it, sit down and have a conversation about it. And so basically, they were talking about me behind my back. And the reason why I was confining in our mutual friend was because I was trying to see if there was something that I was doing. Is something wrong with her? Like, what is really the problem? And so you got to watch out who you confining in, though. I was just so trusty. And so basically, I was confining in her and then the mutual friend. And then she would run back and tell my roommate and gossip. And then they would just have like a gossiping party about me the whole time behind my back. And once I started to catch on to it, I'm like, dang, I can't trust any of these people. Like, she don't have my back. My roommate don't have my back. Nobody has my back. And it was so childish, you guys, because for me, yeah, when you trauma bond, never trauma bond with someone and then make them a friend. Don't ever do that. And so that is how we became roommates. And so when I found out, I'm like, that none of these people had my back, because I'm really a believer, like anything can be worked out with a conversation, with some understanding, of just coming together and being reasonable. Like, I'm not the type of person where I'm just like, oh, I did nothing wrong. I'm like, can you just tell me what I did wrong so I can move forward, so we can move forward and hash things out? And it was like, this girl wouldn't even tell me what I did wrong. So I started to realize over time, because I would ask her, I'm like, what did I do? Like, and I even asked my mutual friend at the time, I'm like, did I do something to her? Like, what did I do? Like, I kept asking her, what did I do? What did I do? And so she could never tell me what I did. Like, she could never, but she always had an attitude towards me, or she was always rude or mean towards me. And so I finally figured it out. Like, she was very envious of me. And I should have known, but I was downplaying it during this time. But I should have known when I started working out with my trainer during this time. This was the first trainer that I ever had. And I was going to him consistently for half the summer. I would say towards the end of the summer, she decided to start training with him. The exact same trainer, doing the exact same thing. And I should have known, but I was just like, no, like, she wouldn't do that. Like, she's not like that, and da 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 da. And I just downplayed it. Listen, the worst thing you could ever do is downplay what people do to you when you know it's not right, or it makes yourself feel uncomfortable. And so that was that situation. So that was another situation where I felt like I was I had to deal with a little jealousy, a little envy. And then another thing that was even weirder, we worked at the same job, and people would come up to me and they would be like, is that your sister? You guys are twins. And I'm like, no, we're not related. And I would laugh it off like, ha ha. Now, mind you, this time, you guys, everything that I did, I was a very experimental person. I would do Marley twists, I would do curly weave. Like, that was like my signature. And the reason why I would do Marley twists and curly hair was because when I worked out in the gym, it was just easier to maintain. And then lo and behold, she would do Marley twist and she would do curly weave. We wore black glasses. She got similar glasses to me when she got new glasses. And I didn't pick up on this stuff until later. And so after a while, it started to become very creepy. And then one day, this is how creepy it got. It is not in there. I'm on Facebook and I'm scrolling and I come across a picture. I'm like, whoa, that's me. And I'm like, no, that's not. That is not my sweater. I do not wear sweaters like that. And I said, oh my God, why did I think that was me? And then that's when it hit me. I started to see what everybody else was seeing. It was crazy, y'all. It was crazy. It was crazy. So it's like I've dealt with this for a while, but like the reason why I never made it a big deal was because I was on YouTube doing YouTube, showing women how to do hair, how to do makeup, showing women how to wear curly weave and how to do the flip over method, because this was a while back. The flip over method, how to do U-part wigs and stuff like that. And so I wasn't putting two and two together, y'all. I was not putting two to two together. I also suffered from low self-esteem. So I'm like, who would ever want to copy me? Like, that's my mindset. And then that's another thing. Some of y'all got low self-esteem and you don't think you that hot, but your friend think you the hottest thing walking. And so you keep downplaying who you are, but they think you're everything and they want to copy every little thing that you're doing. And you don't really look at yourself like that. So that low self-esteem can play you too. And this is why you have to level up. You have to work on yourself, because if you don't, you may find yourself in a situation like this. So at this time in my life, I just didn't think what I was doing was anything worth copying. Even though I was on YouTube teaching women how to do their hair and their makeup, but I never thought it would lead to like copying every little thing that I did. I think that's what it was. Like a hairstyle. It's like, okay, girl, but dang, we got the same glasses. You do Marley twist too, and I'm doing curly. It was crazy. So you gotta be careful with that. And then my most recent situation was different. Now, this friend I've known for 10 years. We've gone through middle school together, high school together. We didn't go to college together. We went separate. But this is a girl that I've watched throughout middle school and high school have a boyfriend. She got married. Like she was considered to be very popular, way more popular than I ever was in middle school or high school. And humility. That's a good one. The thin line between self-esteem and humility. I'm working on that right now. Actually, that's my shadow work right now. But like I was saying, I had to watch this girl, go through her different experiences with men and things like that for years. Never was jealous, never took it personal. To be honest, all through middle school and high school, I never had a boyfriend. Don't even know what a boyfriend is. Girl, if a boyfriend was to smack me in the face, I wouldn't know it was a boyfriend. I was a tomboy. I wore, jeans, sweatshirts, t-shirts. I just wasn't really into looks like that. And so now that I'm grown and I also went through a major glow up, I noticed a major change in my friend. And I get way more male attention now. And I think that was another thing that bothered her, which, I mean, is it really that big of a deal? Like I've never, even now that I get male attention, I'm still not, it's male attention. We all know that all male attention isn't good attention. All male attention is not good attention. So I don't allow it to go to my head. Sometimes it can be aggressive. Sometimes it's just objectifying. You're being sexually objectified. It's not always that great. So I really don't allow it to go to my head. I also feel like anything that I have materialistically, like if you're not grateful and humble about it, you can easily have all of these things taken from you. So with me saying all of this, my 10-year friendship, I just saw a major shift in her behavior towards me. And it was very weird because I wasn't expecting it from someone that saw me go through some really horrible times, like suicide, depression, weight gain, depression. And somehow I was able to overcome those things. And so here we are now, and she's acting a certain way towards me. And I'm going to explain to you some things that she was doing so you guys know what it looks like. Because again, when you downplay it, you make it worse on yourself. You're not making it better. So one thing that she would do, I'm the type of person, I don't tell nobody my financial situation. I don't. It's nobody's business. Not because I'm secretive, not because I'm doing bad. It's just I don't feel like it's anyone's business. So before I moved here to Houston, I paid off majority of my debt, like $30,000 worth of debt. And I just really cleaned up my credit. I hired a third-party company to clean up my credit on the back end, paid off some debt on the front end and just really cleaned it up. So before I moved here to Houston, I was pretty much starting over from scratch, starting with good credit, starting with a savings account. I'm not going to say how much, but like I was just in a really good place, you know, but I didn't tell anyone. Like no one knew how well I was doing because I didn't feel, I'm not the person that brags. I don't carry myself in an arrogant way. And the reason is because I feel like I genuinely, authentically feel that we are all at different levels, right? So thank you. Thanks, guys. Y'all are so sweet. So I feel like, okay, I'm at this level, you know, you guys can get at this level. Like this level that I'm on, I don't look down on people like, girl, you can never be me. I don't have that mentality. I've never had that mentality. I've never carried that type of personality or attitude. So I really keep a lot of things to myself. And there's nothing wrong with being proud of your accomplishments and things like that. But I'm not an arrogant person. If I'm blessed, I'm blessed. If anything, I like to bless others because if God is blessing me, it's like, dang, the least I can do is bless other people to show God that I'm grateful of the things that he's doing in my life. So my friend didn't know all of this though. Because again, I'm very secretive. I'm very private. I just don't like people knowing. And so when I moved here, I started doing a lot of things financially, like moving to a nice apartment in a nice area, driving a brand new car. Mind you, we're in the middle of a pandemic, going on a vacation in Mexico, just doing a lot of things financially that I wasn't able to do before. And again, I didn't tell anyone what I was up to. I wasn't telling anyone what I was doing. Now, these same friends, let me tell you something about friends. They would always talk mess about me. She always in the house. She always working. She never want to do this. She never want to do that. And it was because where I was at in life was not where I wanted to be. And I didn't feel like celebrating. And I don't recommend this either. And the reason is because you have to balance out, okay, you working on yourself and having some fun too. And I'm learning that. I'm in that season right now where it's like, okay, you can work hard and play hard. You don't have to just be all work. But I will say that some friends would talk about me because of that. They didn't like how I was all grind and no play. But my thing is, it's like, listen, we going to a club. I've done this, you know, like I don't consider that fun. I consider that something to do just because I don't have nothing else to do. But when you are really trying to get yourself out of certain situations because you're trying to better yourself, it's like going to a club is it's something to do when you don't have nothing to do in my eyes, right? And so I'm just not into that. So these friends used to give me a hard time about how much I worked, but they never knew that the work that I was putting in was actually paying off. And that's what made me a little obsessed. I'm not going to lie. I'm a workaholic. I'm not going to lie. I struggle with this. And I know where I get it from. I get it from my mama. I will work until I will work from sun up to sundown. I love working. But anyway, so they never knew what I was actually doing. Okay. I don't know if they thought I was twiddling my thumbs, if they thought I was just out here, you know, effing around. I don't know what they thought. But it was working for me. It was paying off. So when I moved to Houston, that's when they started to see how my hard work was paying off. And this is when I started to see a change in a lot of the people that I was hanging around, which was crazy to me because a lot of these people were rooting for me. That's what was weird. A lot of these people were rooting for me. They were rooting for me in the beginning. They were rooting for me. So the switch up came and I'm just like, this is odd. Like, this is so odd. Like, I'm like, a car, a vacation, an apartment can do this. Like, this is crazy to me. Male attention can do this. Now, this friend is the type of friend that has always gotten male attention. She's actually been more, I would say people would put more attention on her than anyone else, which is nothing wrong with that. Like, I never had an issue with that at all. Actually, I never paid attention to that, to be honest. I never paid attention to who gets more attention than the next person, vice versa. It's like when I'm out with my friends, I'm really out to have a good time with them. I'm not really worried about who's getting more attention or not. I don't know. My mind, I'm sorry, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. So I'm honestly, I get irritated when I'm out with my friends. We're trying to have a good time and enjoy each other's company. And then there are men around and it's like, we can't even really enjoy ourselves if it was just us. I'm that type of friend. So it was that situation. So I think it was just, she wasn't used to all of these changes that were happening in my life. And I don't know if she was having a hard time trying to adjust to that. I don't know, but I just never would have thought in a million years that she would have an issue with it. So I noticed how she started putting me down. She would make smart comments, slick comments. And I'm just like, am I tripping? And so when I confronted her about it, she'd be like, girl, it's because we've been friends for so long. And I'm like, okay, we've been friends for so long, but I've never jokingly joked in a way to put you down. Like, that's so weird. And I also started to notice how she only did it to me. She didn't do it to my other friends or other friends, you know? And she would comment on my legs and how big they were. She would comment on my height and how tall I was. She would comment on my financial situation that she knew nothing about because I didn't tell anyone. So she was, I guess she was confronting me and trying to hold me accountable about how much money I had been spending lately. And she spoke about how I was making dumb financial decisions, how I needed to go back to school, and how it was, y'all. And she was nailing me all at once. And I was just like, I was like, what? Like, I'm like, where's all of this coming from? I'm like, where's this all coming from? And you guys, I'm the strong friend too. So if I'm going through something, I don't even tell people. So all of this was assumptions. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, why do you have so many negative assumptions about me? Like, I don't have negative assumptions about her. So I'm like, why do you have so many negative assumptions about me? Because you don't know the truth. She was definitely pocket watching. And that's when I was like, I'm like, who pocket watches it? Y'all, friends can pocket watch. That was a lesson too. Friends can pocket watch. And again, I have the mindset that what I have can be obtainable to anyone with hard work, consistency. And she was definitely projecting. I guess she wasn't in the best place financially, but yeah, she was pocket watching me and judging me, and she knew nothing, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And so it was just, that's when I decided to end the friendship because I'm like, this is not healthy. Um, a friendship ended like that because of it started to become like a frenemy type situation. I'm like, I don't compete with my friends, and if I feel like I gotta compete, and that was another thing when we went on our vacation. Every day when it was time to get dressed, it was like a competition. Who can have the better makeup? Who can have the better outfit? Who wore the better shoes? And it was just like, I didn't come on vacation to compete. Who could get the better photo for Instagram? I didn't want to take pictures for Instagram because I'm like, this is the first vacation that I've had in 10 years where I actually don't have to work and still make money. I don't want to take pictures for Instagram. That's why when I went to Mexico, I never took, like, I took pictures every now and then. I took pictures every now and then, but at every turn on vacation, it was like, let's get a photo here. Let's get a photo here. Let's get a photo. And it was just like, oh my God, I thought I was taking a vacation from what I do. You know, like I didn't come here to take a vacation. I mean, take a photo every 5 minutes. And then I also started to notice this too. She would take horrible photos of me on purpose, you guys. And I'm not talking about, oh, you know, when a friend take a certain angle and it's not that flattering and you want to be picky about it. I'm talking about this girl would take a photo of me and hand it back. I'm not even in focus. I said, oh my God, I'm not even in focus. I said, you can't even get me in focus. Meanwhile, because you know, I'm your friend. I'm gonna make sure you look damn good, sis. I'm gonna make sure you look damn good. I'm on the floor. I'm getting angles that you know regular people don't get. You know, I'm making sure you look good for the gram. I'm that. And I'm like, you giving me, you taking, for all of them were blurry, like all of them. And I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? And I was like, yeah, I had to let it go because I was just like, wow, this is crazy. I think she also doesn't like the fact that I get a lot of attention online for what I do. Um, it's a lot. I never would have thought. And that's why I'm saying, like, jealousy is normal. It's a normal emotion, but what you do with it is what actually matters. And I just think it got to a point where she became envious and jealous at the same time. And it was just nasty. It was just how she would treat me, how she would talk to me, how she would make so many negative assumptions about me was crazy. Another thing that I found out was, for whatever reason, she thought it would be a good idea when we had our falling out that I talked to her other friend. And so I called her other friend on the phone and I said, listen, I've been having issues with this girl. And I started opening up and just being honest because I have an honesty policy. I'm gonna let you know how I feel. When I was telling her other friend, and she was like, well, yeah, we were wondering why she wasn't inviting you out. I said, oh, so I had suspicion about it. I had suspicion about how she wasn't inviting me places, but I didn't have any proof or evidence. So she would be like, her mutual friend or her other friend, we're not mutual friends. Her other friend told me, she was like, yeah, we'd be asking her, and she would be like, oh, she doesn't want to come out, or she doesn't want to do this. And I was like, dang, I never said that. I was never invited. So it's just, people are not going to be happy for you. Yeah, everything that I told her with the intent that she would run back and tell somebody else. How did I know that? Because that's what happened to me the last time. Yo, I knew verbatim everything that I said. It would be repeated, and in most cases, it would probably be stretched. The truth would be stretched. It wouldn't even be really the truth by the time it got back to her. But I didn't care. I was getting information out of her, so I would know what was going on. And I had my suspicion. Your intuition is going to tell you what it's going to tell you. And that's when I found out that she was being fake behind my back. She would have conversations with her other friends about me. And so I just ended it because, thank you for the super chat. I just ended it because, oh, thank you. That's so sweet. I ended it because it just wasn't worth it. I want to be around women that want to see me win just as much as I want to see them win. I want to be around women that understand that we may be at different levels, but we're all going to have our day. Like, we're all going to have our day. We're all going to have our moment, and it's just a matter of time. I think my camera about to die. And whether it's if you want to lose weight, you want to improve your finances, you want to I don't get married, I don't make certain investments, start a business. I truly believe it's just a matter of time. Like, you have to have that mindset. My day is coming. And I say this all the time. My day is coming. My day is coming. My day is coming. So when I see other people and I see like, oh, I want that for myself, or I want that for myself, then I repeat and I say things like, my day is coming. I don't say I want that or I wish I could have that. Let me change my because I knew that was about to happen. Battery exhausted. I don't say, I'm like, dang, let me move it back. Because we're not about to end this live, not today. I don't say, oh, I wish I could have that, or oh, why she get that. Da, da, da. I always say my day is going to come. I say this within my career. I say this with my finances. I say this when I see people on Instagram buy homes and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be able to buy a home one day. One day my day is going to come. You cannot think that what others have, you cannot get. Like, you have to be appreciative of what you have. You have to be appreciative of what you have been gifted through a blessings and abundance, you have to be grateful, but you also have to believe that one day your time is going to come, and you have to not you have to get from around people that have a scarcity mindset where they feel like they can't do what you're doing. Because if they feel like they can't do what you're doing, of course it's going to turn into jealousy and envy. Of course it is. And like I said, this is all about perception. This is all about perception, because I'm over here doing things, and this is what made me realize, like, I actually am very grateful of this experience. When I had the falling out with my friend, I really didn't I because I'm like so focused on the end goal, I'm so focused for more and better. I did not sit down and just look around and just, you know what? Let me just be grateful, because clearly I'm doing something right, and sometimes we chase, and we don't even sit to just think like, dang, I am truly, truly grateful of everything that I have been able to accomplish, that I have been able to receive abundantly through my spirit guides, my ancestors, God, whoever you believe in. And it made me realize that, you know what, I need to start thanking, and stop feeling like, oh, this isn't enough, this isn't enough, this isn't enough. Like, I have to start thinking I always have more than enough. And I'm very, very grateful, and I'm very, very appreciative. And I think the part that hurt about the friend, though, I'm just gonna be honest, like, friendships hurt. When you fall out with your friend, it hurts. And I think this is why I was going through a depression, was because after the friendship ended, when it was time for people to clap for me, no one was clapping. The people, I don't want to say no one was clapping. The people that were like really close in my corner, when it was time to clap for me, they weren't clapping for me. And when the shoe was on the other foot, I was there clapping for them, rooting for them, genuinely, authentically. So when it was my time, it was almost like nobody showed up, and it hurt, because it's like, dang. And it wasn't like I was competing with them or anything. It was just like, dang, like, I worked so hard to get to this point, and I had to go through this, I had to overcome this and overcome that. And it was just like, dang, like, I really thought like these people would be around for me to celebrate with them. And I think that's the part that really hurt from the situation. Was it wasn't even what she did. It was like I couldn't even move forward with the friendship with her anymore, because of how the situation ended, and how she really showed her true colors. I mean, she was calling me weird, she was calling me strange, and I'm just like, first of all, I've always been weird. I ain't never been normal. Like, I've never been normal a day in my life. So I'm like, I've always been weird. I've always been strange. This is who I am. And I was just like, if you find an issue with that, how can you be my friend? How can you be my friend? So she said some things like weird, strange, and everything. And I'm like, listen, I literally created a business by accident by recording myself in a room by myself with a camera. And you want to call me weird? I've been weird. Don't call me weird now because I got a car that you want, or a similar car that you want, or a luxury vehicle. Don't call me weird now because I got a nice. I've been weird, you guys. Like, y'all, I've been weird since high school. So I was just like, weird. I'm like, girl, I've been weird. To the point where I even want to come out with some merch that says, I think, is it weird makes me money? No, weird. Oh, weird pays my bills. Weird pays my bills. Don't ever allow this world that we live in to make you feel like being different is something's wrong with you. And when she said that to me, I kind of felt bad for her, because she's not able to be weird. She feels like she has to be something that she's not. And I think that's what it is. It's like, I think people who label you weird or strange, I think they wish they could be you because you're authentically being yourself. And it's almost like they feel like they have to put you down to make themselves feel better about how they have to constantly try hard to fit in. And you just got to decode other people's projections when it comes to their insecurities and things like that. And it's a lot, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. I learned so much in 20 from 2020 from 2019, 2020, 2021. I have just learned so much, and I'm so grateful. I've fallen out with a lot of people over the years, and I keep leveling up. Every time I lose someone, and I'm going to share this too, every time I lose someone, I always hit a new level. Every time I lose someone, I always hit a new level. And I think it's because my intentions are always pure. I'm not saying that I'm always right or always do the right thing, but my intentions are always pure and I mean well, and so every time I lose someone, I go to a new level. So when that situation ended, because I've gone through this so many times now, I kind of knew what was happening and I just didn't fight it. It was a tower moment that needed to happen. I think certain people have to be cleared out of your energy, out of your aura field, in order for you to receive certain things that God wants to bless you with. And, God can't bless you with those things when certain people are in your space. So when she did what she did, and listen, she told on herself. That's what's crazy. Let your friends tell on themselves. Let them tell on themselves. Because I literally I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I did not do anything. But I said, God, just reveal to me who is not for me. Like, just say that out loud, and you'll start to see how certain people's masks, they just start to fall. And that's exactly what happened. Her mask slipped, and I saw her for the first time for who she really was. And I just never looked at her the same. It's almost like it's almost like it's almost like it's almost like being in a relationship with a man, and when you guys were first dating or you guys were first in a relationship, and then like all of a sudden it was kind of like, oh, I don't even like, I was into that. Like, I was really into that. Like, I was feeling him like that. Like, what is wrong with me? It's like the same thing with a friend. It's like, oh, you don't even want to be friends with them no more. And it's not even, oh, I can't stand her. I don't like her. I don't want the best. I really wish my ex best friend the best. I hope that she gets everything that she wants. Everything. I want to see her win. Well, I blocked her on social media. I still want to see her win, I do. Because those feelings, they just don't die. Like, you can't just cut off your feelings if they were authentic. Like, I hope she receives everything that she wants in life. But after that situation, it's like you don't see them the same, So women will always one up you. Do you? Yeah, and that's exhausting. I'm not in this to one up other women. I'm not even in this black women in empowering space to one up other women. I really feel like every woman on this platform that brings something to the table of positivity, awakenness, I think you have a place. Like, I don't feel like, girl, I don't want you taking over my position. I'm like, listen, if taking over my position means that black women collectively will be in a better position, take over my position. Like, I'm okay with stepping down. I'm that type of person. So it's just a matter of how you look at life. Like, if you're really in it for genuine intentions, you will do whatever needs to be done in order for positivity to take over. Like, it's really like that. So I don't really care about that. I don't get into that competitiveness stuff. I really don't. Because I really feel like everyone is valuable. They bring something different to the table and it's worth listening to. So I'm trying to think what else. Oh, did you guys want me to talk about the Jordan Sparks situation? Because I talked about it on my Instagram, but I didn't talk about it on here. Let me see. Oh, wait. I'm going too far down. You guys, this morning, Now, y'all know I love y'all, right? Y'all know I love y'all. And you know I'm going to be honest. Okay? But common law does not have your back. And I need to get this message out. I think I'm going to do a dedicated video, but I'm going to go ahead and play this video real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Yes, when she was on The Real and she discussed marriage. Did you guys see that? Hold on, let me pull it up. Oh my God, I did not know my Instagram, it had gotten 14,000 views or 15,000 views. I did not know that. Because I really just be reposting from other people's pages. Pay attention to the caption because that's what matters. Okay. Now listen, I'm not going off of how I personally feel. I'm going off of what no one told me. I'm going off of what no one told me, no one researched. And Black people, we gotta stop doing things how we always do things just because that's how we've always done things. Like, it's okay to do something different. Okay, let me start this over. Wait, is it showing? Okay, let's do this.
I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack from this from my family, but I think if you're going to take the dive, then it has to be respected. The institution of marriage has to be respected because you're making that decision to actually do that. But I also think if you have a great relationship and you're good where you're at, you don't have to get married. I personally don't think that. Like, just be happy. Healthy relationships come in all shapes and sizes. And so for me, I am married. I married my husband. I love him. We're going on 5 years. I'm just so grateful. But at the same time, I have friends that have been together for years and aren't married. And that doesn't make a difference to me. They're committed to each other. They love each other. It's the same thing. So I feel like it's whoever's choice. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack from this from my family.
Let me stop. I'm gonna be real with you because Jordan's not being real with you. She's not being real with you. First of all, she's a married woman of 5 years. You're not seen the same. And I'm not talking about socially. I'm talking about in the eyes of the law. Because that's what matters. How you're seen by other people, you're not people pleasing. If you're not out here people pleasing, you don't care what other people think. Right? But in the eyes of the law, it matters. So she can sing that kumbaya, let's all hold hands, and everything is going to be peaches and cream and rainbows and sunshines. But when some real stuff pop off, you're screwed. And I started doing research on common law. Y'all, do you not understand that common law is only recognized in 8 states? Let me pull it up. And it ain't in the states that a lot of people want to live. Let me tell you that now. We have Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, New Hampshire, Texas, Utah. So that's it. That is it. It's not available anywhere else. And then, girl, let me tell you something else. Not only that, it does not stop there. In the 8 states that it is in, how they recognize common law is not the same. So, like, for example, and this is not factual information. You have to look at it. Yes, girl, Texas. That's what I said. Texas. Wow, but y'all know Texas is a little different down here. So prime example, like say you lived in the state of Kansas, right? Common law in the state of Kansas is probably, it could be recognized that maybe you guys lived together for 2 or 3 years, right? And you guys share banking accounts and you guys have children together. So in the state of Kansas, they recognize it, right? But in the state of Iowa, it could be different. Like maybe you have to live together for 5 years. Maybe you have to not only have or share checking accounts, but you also have to share other things. Maybe assets has to be in your name. Like it's, you guys, if you get married and you sign a marriage certificate, it's instant. It's instant. It's instant. There's no you need to prove in court that you lived as a married couple. And you know what? I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Common law is all about proving that you looked married or acted as married within society. So this is what kills me, right? I'm like, so you're telling me that I have to prove that I took on the role as a wife in order to be seen as a married woman in the court? Because that's what it doesn't matter how people see you outside the court. Well, it does if you need proof. It does if you need proof that you in fact lived or carried yourself as if you guys were in fact like married. You have to have proof. So Texas, I feel like has the best I think Texas has the best common law law. Everyone else is it's like you got to go through a lot of hoops. Then say you're on a will, say your power of attorney, say you're on the beneficiary. It's a process, you guys. Again, if you sign the marriage certificate, it's instant. It's instant. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to pull resources out of your bank account called money and get a lawyer and go through all of these proceedings just to prove anything. If you sign a marriage certificate, it's instant. It's automatic. You don't got to go to the courthouse unless you want to go to family court if like it's divorce, right? Or you want spousal support because there are children involved and things like that. But if someone dies, you don't have to do anything. It's just automatic. Also, common law, you cannot examine the body after death. I did not know that either. I did not know that. Like the family has to, the next relative has to. You have no rights to that. That's crazy too. That's crazy too. If it's a common law marriage, which the only way that's determined is if you're in a common law marriage state. Yes, like you guys, basically, you know how when you get married, and we're just talking about the business side, because I could care less about a wedding. A wedding is all about capitalism. It don't got nothing to do with Yanni. Okay, I'll go skip on down to the courthouse, elope, sign the paperwork, and do what I need to do. I don't need a fancy wedding or a ceremony. But what I found interesting about the situation is when you have a marriage ceremony, the reason why you have it is because you have witnesses. You have a priest. You have witnesses saying that you guys wed. So when you are in a common law marriage, you don't have witnesses. You don't have a day where your family and friends came together and witnessed anything, So because of that, with common law, you got to prove it. And listen, some of these men, they could show up in court. Oh, Your Honor, I don't know this woman. Yeah, we lived together. That's my girlfriend, but she knew I wasn't trying to marry her. He could literally stand on the stand and say that after you don't watch his dirty draws for 5 years. Y'all, listen, Black women, we are the most educated. But when it comes to marriage, it's almost like we dropped the ball. And I know why, because we culturally were not taught, and I can only speak for the Black women here in the US. We culturally were not taught the importance of marriage and why marriage takes place. So that's why, like, we got to start protecting ourselves. Now, listen, Yanni not about to sit up here and tell you go marry a bum or a dusty. I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that if you get married, you're going to live happily ever after. Nothing in this life is guaranteed. But marriage is a business. And the reason why the institution that we live in, it governs you in a way to get married because it's about taxes. Okay? It's about them taxes. Oh, you thought I was about to say it's about love. No, it's about them taxes, honey. That's the US want their money. Uncle Sam wants that money. So it's about taxes. Taxes, 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 taxes. Anyway, so when we speak on marriage, I'm not telling you just go marry anybody or go live happily ever after and all of that. You need to marry right, correctly, with a prenup. Oh, yes. There's levels to this. There's levels to this. Common law don't have your back. So you know who got to have your back? You do. You got to have your back. I've been researching this all day. And I'm just like, what is the reason behind all of this? Like, because I really wanted to know what was the reason behind all of this. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's taxes. Okay, so common law don't have my back, but that prenup got to have my back. That prenup got to have my back. Now, listen, not just any old prenup. Not just any old prenup. You need to look into that agreement and see what that prenup says. And I would never sign a 50-50 prenup. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And listen, you know, Black women can get on this app and be delusional and say things like Black women are gold diggers. Black women are gold diggers. We're the breadwinners. How can we be gold diggers? We're the most educated. How can we be gold diggers? I ain't never seen a Black woman, not one. I have not seen a Black woman in the history of social media. I will say social media be plastered all up and down and through our news feed talking about I took him for everything or half. I've never seen it. I've seen white women. I've seen the Latinas. I ain't seen a Black woman yet. So you need to be signing a prenup. Yes, I said it. And you need to be laying out them guidelines. And basically, it's about your assets, you guys. You need to protect. You got to protect it. You got to protect it. And so basically, in my mind, the way I would like my prenup to be set up, everyone's prenup is different. Everyone's prenup can be set up the way that you would like. That's up to you. And listen, to the women that are like, oh, common law is more for me. Common law does not have your back. But if you don't want a traditional marriage, that is up to you. But you need to legalize everything that you're building with the person that you're living with. That's what marriage is about. It's about legalizing what you guys are building together in the eyes of the law. Yes, something as simple as doing a man's laundry. A lot of these men try to minimize what we women do in the home, like it's not helping them build, it's not helping them create, and it is. If a man can come home to a clean house, food on the table, that gives him the energy to go back out into the world to build, right? So because of that, it's like, girl, you're helping this man build. You need to legalize the fact that you're helping this man build in the eye of the law. It's about it being done in the eye of the law. So if you in common law marriage in a non-common law state, in the eye of the law, you just a girlfriend and you helping this man build. And if he try to play you, he can easily do it because you didn't legalize your daily task in the eyes of the law. And so this man can screw you over. You're going to be like that one girl in, what's her, Acrimony? It's about legalizing what you're building in the eyes of the law. That's all. That's what marriage is to me. After I started doing all this research, that's what it is. It don't mean nothing else. You can make it religious if you want to. You can make it traditional if you want to. You can make it cultural, right? But I'm going to weed through all of that and tell you exactly what it's about. It's about legalizing your what you're building in the eyes of the law. It's not about anything else. Okay. Y'all can make it about, well, my parents got a divorce and da da da. Okay, that's great. But you still plan on building with this man. You still plan on building with this man. You need to legalize the fact that you are building with this man in the eyes of the law so that you're not wasting your time and getting screwed over. Imagine as a woman, you over here dedicating 3-4 years helping a man build. And listen, folding his laundry, cooking his dinner is helping a man build. I don't care what nobody say. Okay. And you've invested these years that you cannot get back as a woman. And he decides that this is no longer for him, whatever the case may be. And you did not legalize the 3 to 4 years that you spent help building with this man. Maybe you didn't work. Maybe you were a stay-at-home wife or girlfriend, right? And so in the eyes of the law, you have no rights. You have no rights to anything unless he put something in your name. Now, I will say this. If you are in a common law situation or a common law marriage, he has to put things in your name. Because in the eyes of the law, it will be seen as, oh, he gifted you this house or he gifted you this car, so you own it. You have legal rights to it. He can't just take it from you. But if he doesn't put anything in your name, you are really screwed. Okay? You are really screwed. Now listen, everything that I'm saying can be looked into. Don't just take my word for it. Look into it. Don't just go off of what people are saying on social media, because a lot of the people, like people that really believe, oh, common law. I'm like, girl, do you even live in a state that even recognizes common law? Come on, like we have to do better. Now, another point that I want to make. A lot of people who are in common law marriages, the reason why they don't want to get married is because they don't want traditionalism. And what you need to do when you have this mindset is separate what marriage has been taught to you. Like, separate it. Okay? Separate it. No one is saying that you got to be in a monogamous relationship, sis, because your prenup can say whatever it wants to say. We have an open marriage. No outside babies. Yeah, your prenup can say whatever. Or you can even put in a prenup, he's allowed to cheat twice a year, or he's allowed to have 2 mistresses. You can put whatever you want to put in your prenuptial agreement. No one is saying you got to have a marriage like your grandfather or your grandmother. No one is saying that. No one is saying that. Cheating is definitely going to be in my prenuptial agreement, but it ain't going to be you can cheat twice a year, nothing like that. It's going to be like, if you cheat, I'm owed this amount. Y'all better get it together. If you cheat, oh, and if you have an outside baby, we need to triple, quadruple that amount. You can customize it. That's why I'm like, y'all don't want to get married because of traditionalism. Well, don't make it about traditionalism. You make it about that business, okay? You need to legalize what you're investing in. That's what you need to do. Now, this stuff, it was not taught to us by our mothers, our grandmothers. If you got lucky, you got lucky. But some of us, no. Oh, yeah, girl, I can't wait. Men be like, women don't never want to sign a prenup. I do. I do. Let's get this going. I'm excited. I can be creative. And hopefully I get a lawyer that can be just as creative as me. I sure am. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm more than excited to sign a prenup. And then I'm protecting my assets as well. Why not? So listen, you can create whatever type of prenup you want to create. It ain't my business. I'm not in your marriage. What you do in your marriage ain't my business, whether you want it to be traditional or not. But that paperwork is you handling business. That's what it is. It's you handling business. Now, we have people that feel like if you sign a prenup that you're basically signing your divorce. No, you're not. Okay, because when you get life insurance, you're not thinking you're gonna die tomorrow. Okay, it's about protecting yourself. That's what it's about. It's not about anything else. Just like you get car insurance, life insurance, home insurance, you need to get marriage insurance. That's how I look at a prenup. A prenup is marriage insurance. That's all that it is. It's to protect you. That's it. That is it. It's nothing else. Okay, black people try to turn it into everything up under the sun, but what it actually is for. It's to protect yourself. And honestly, it's to protect both parties involved. Honestly, it's not even just you, but I like to look out for y'all more than anybody. So yeah, it's to protect yourself. I've seen women get screwed over in divorce court. I have, on my Instagram actually. And it's not good, you guys. It's not good because she was the breadwinner. She did majority of the housework. She worked outside the home. She never really got any support financially. He barely held a job down, and she birthed his children and all of this stuff. And so when they got a divorce, she was making more money. She started her own business. He was able to take half of everything. That's why I'm like, listen, women, we're not turning our noses up at signing a prenup no more. Maybe like, back in the 80s, 90s when women weren't really working like that. But now that women are actually working and making real money, yeah, we're going to sign a prenup. That's crazy. So, what did I cover everything? I think I covered everything. I just wanted to get this on my YouTube channel because I want y'all to know the truth. Yeah, stop marrying Dusties. Let's start with that. Yeah. But let me tell you something. She's older. And you got to give grace to older black women. You have to give grace because they can only do what they have been taught or what they have seen or what they have been told. And I hate to say it, but the women that came before us were not taught the best. Okay? They were not taught the best. So don't take it out on them. Please don't. Please don't. Okay? They learning growth lessons that some of us will not have to go through, I hope, with my channel. I really do. Now, I'm about to play this other clip because I want you guys to see this. Oh, wait. Why did I do that? Because this is what this other woman is going through. Young Dolph's girlfriend. Oh, wait. And I hate to see her go through this because really it's not fair. And listen, she's in the state of Georgia. They don't recognize common law there. And so even if if he had a will in place or if he put her on certain assets like the house and stuff like that, I guess she'll be okay. But the thing with that is the family can come in and start some drama. That's all I'm gonna say. If they wanted to. And you know how family can be jealous. You hear them sirens? Do y'all hear them sirens? Those are my spirit guys telling y'all need to listen up. No, for real. Y'all need to listen up. Okay, you shouldn't have to go through certain things if you're learning from other people. And I hate to see her go through this. Like, this is heartbreaking. This is devastating. Like, this is so devastating. I wouldn't wish this on nobody. I wouldn't wish this on nobody. Not my, I don't have enemies, but not my worst enemy. I don't wish this on anyone. It's not fair. Okay, let me play this.
It's been extremely difficult. Just having to pick up, the pieces and to find the strength for my children, most importantly, to me, because that is the one thing that Adolph and myself that we felt we had a duty to them, to really protect them, to raise them, to just do so much for them and together, and now that he's no longer here, it's just very tough for me to be strong for them. And also be strong for myself because he, Adolph, that was my soulmate. And when I say they stole my future, it's like, it has taken a long time to iron out the kinks, being with a celebrity, someone who's very busy, that's on the road a lot, and family kind of, can take a back seat. but he finally, made the sacrifices and was present. And we were doing things like, planning our wedding, having a surprise wedding to celebrate with our family and our friends. And after being with him almost a decade and getting to that point where we can cement our love, celebrate our love story with the people that we love most, our children, that's been taken from me. And to find strength in it all is very, very difficult for me.
We can,
it's been extremely difficult. Just
now, imagine you going through this while you're grieving. Y'all, I don't want y'all to go through this. Like, for real. Imagine you going through this while you're grieving, trying to be strong for 2 kids. And she literally said out of her mouth, her future is gone. I think they met. Wait, what? Okay. I think they met when they were teenagers. I think they met when they were teenagers, you guys. So I think that's why they knew each other for a decade. But I'm not gonna judge this girl's situation because I don't know how she grew up. I don't know her backstory, but I don't want to see y'all in situations like this. Hopefully you guys can use her example to make better choices for yourself. Please make better choices for yourself, please. Okay, so you're not in a situation like this where basically you can hear it in her voice. She has to start over. She has to start over. And that's what I'm saying. When you live in a state that they don't recognize common law, you have to start over. You have to start all the way over. And she was with him for a decade, helping this man build. She started I think it's a nonprofit organization where I think it's Black Men Don't Make It to 40, or Black Men Don't Grow Old. She made a nonprofit organization, and that was something that she kind of branched off when it comes to his music career and things like that. And so, oh wait, she's in Memphis. So she's in Tennessee? I don't know why I thought she was in Georgia. I thought they had moved to Atlanta. Is she in Atlanta or Tennessee? Or is she in Georgia or Tennessee? And listen. Common law don't work for rich people. So if you plan on marrying a man of means, common law really don't work for rich people because the family can really come in and just underhand you so easily. They could say y'all were never together like that. No one cares about common law. And again, the reason why they're not pushing common law is for tax reasons. That is why you pay. I think no. I don't think you pay more in taxes with a family. I don't know how that works. I'm gonna have to ask some people before I even comment on that. But they want you to. I think for taxes, I really think they push you being together than to be single. Yeah, rich people when there's a lot of money involved, they really don't recognize common laws because there's a lot at stake. So yeah. Okay, so you pay less with the family, more write-offs. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, no, because I'm like, girl, I be paying a lot in taxes. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, that don't sound right. I think you pay less in taxes, but I think it's because you're supposed to have more assets. You have more assets to write off or more things that you can write off versus the person that's single. Yeah, common law really only works for child support. And that's what I'm saying. The only thing, and that's one thing that I realized, I'm like, dang, listen. I looked it up. If you are in a state that even recognizes it, you will go from family court to circuit court. So that means in family court, it's all about coming up with how things are going to be divided. In circuit court, you have to prove that you were even married. So you have to basically go on trial. It's a mess. And so if your spouse is still alive, you would go on trial with your spouse. If your spouse is deceased, then you may go on trial with his family, or just to go in court to simply prove that y'all were even together like that. If you're married, you would go straight to family court. If your spouse is still alive, that means you guys are getting divorced, or you're going there for child support so that you can get spousal support, or spousal support and child support, depending on the situation. So yeah, this whole situation is horrible. I don't want to see you guys in situations like this. And I think, when we get on this app, there are a lot of women out here that really try to feed you a dream. And I'm never going to feed you a dream, not even when I'm working out. Nope. I'm not going to feed you that dream that if you just wear the waist trainer, your waist is going to be snatched. Nope. You got to eat right. You got to wear the waist trainer, and you got to work out. You got to drink plenty of water. I'm never going to get on here and feed y'all a dream. I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. And the more real you keep it, the better your life will be. And I felt like Jordan Sparks was being a little misleading. And I felt like she was telling you what people wanted to hear, but she wasn't telling you the truth. And she was sitting up there married for 5 years. And it was just like, girl, what are we doing? Excuse me. Did I cover everything? But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I didn't think I was going to do it now, but I'm like, you know what? Why not? Let's just go ahead and talk about it, get off my chest. And listen, Black women, stop saying common law got your back. Okay. Cause it don't. We are smarter than that now. We are the most educated. You should not be going around saying that. I'm sorry. You should know better. What's going on? I think that covers everything. Common law. I want to make sure I covered everything, because I hate it when I don't cover everything. Oh, I didn't do any research on the UK. So to my UK followers, I'm sorry, y'all. Canada, like I said, Canada is a little bit better, but so is their healthcare. Canada is a little bit better, but so is their healthcare. Yeah, I think I covered everything. Let me see. Okay, did that. Yeah, I covered everything. So yeah, I broke it down, hopefully into simpler terms, so you guys understand how marriage needs to be viewed. I think we have been conditioned and programmed to only focus on the ceremony, and the ceremony is just one step in such a huge milestone within your life, but it's not the only thing that you need to be looking out for. And like I said, even if you want to have a non-traditional life, you still need to legalize the fact that you're building with someone in a home. It is what it is. And that's how you need to look at it. I don't care what your marriage life looks like. That's not what matters. If you are living with a person for 5 years and you guys are building together, I don't even care if you just folding his laundry. I don't care if you guys are just folding laundry, cooking. You need to legalize that you are building with this person, and you have been building with this person for 5 years. That is what that is about, so that you're not being screwed over when something comes up. And you know how life happens. So something comes up, you don't want to be in a situation where your stability is just swiped from underneath you. And the only one that truly has protection are your children, because of the law. And another thing, if you don't give your kid, or if you don't give your child their dad's last name, it makes it even harder in child support too. Like, y'all, there's a reason why the system, the government makes it so hard for people who don't want to be traditional as far as like signing a marriage certificate. Like, they make it so hard, and it's just easier. Like I said, as soon as you sign that marriage certificate, it's instant. There's nothing else that you have to do. And that's what I meant to say. A marriage license, it can average anywhere between 80 to like 120. A will can average at about $1,500. So, and then the proceedings that follows for when a person dies or whatever like that requires more resources. So $1,500 versus a marriage certificate license, y'all do the math on that. Because a lawyer, because I looked it up, I'm like, a lawyer can cost 300. A lawyer that's trying to like get you legal rights with a will can cost like $300 an hour. And then if you got to go on trial, it could cost you even more than that. That's why I said it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. When I went into this looking to see what was more beneficial, common law or a marriage certificate, I was very unbiased. But when I came to the conclusion that only 8 states recognize it, the 8 states that really majority of people don't want to live in, no major cities, except for Texas. And then the requirements to be recognized as a wife is just a lot of work. Like, it's just a lot of work. So make your life easier. I'm all about luxury, and luxury doesn't start with a handbag or some designer shoes. It actually starts with making sure you have a comfortable, peaceful, healthy home life. And you can't do that if you got to walk. I mean, you don't know what your future holds when you don't legalize it. Okay. That's basically what you're doing. You're legalizing your future. You are legalizing your future. So make sure you legalize your future and don't play yourself and think that common law is going to have your back, because it don't. Yeah, that's all that I have. Did you guys have any questions? Yeah, that's all. I think, yeah, that's everything. You guys have any questions? Ain't nothing wrong with a Chanel bag or some designer shoes, but I'm saying, like, get that foundation correct first, okay? Don't be in no common law marriage. You got the bags, you got the shoes, but you ain't legalizing the fact that you've been building with this man. That don't make sense. Think about, if you guys don't learn nothing else from this live, because I don't, like I said, y'all can make your wedding about whatever you want to make it about. You can make your ceremony for the day, whatever you want to make it about. You can even make your prenup about whatever you want to make it about. You can, your marriage does not have to be traditional, but on paper, you need to legalize what you're building. That's it. It is a business. It is a business. You need to legalize what you're building with someone. That is it. Now, what you want to make up of the rest of your marriage, that is up to you. That is up to you. That ain't my business. But the basics, you need to make sure you got your business in order when it comes to your relationship. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, Black women, like, we so dope when it comes to handling business in business, but we don't be handling business in our personal life. And we got to change that. Okay, you need to legalize that you're building with a man. You have to get that on paper. You know how these men like to switch up. So if you don't learn nothing else from this live, okay, you're not getting married because it's the thing to do. You're not getting married on paper. You're not getting married because it's the thing to do. You're not getting married because you want the traditional life. You're getting married because on paper, so you can legalize what you're building with someone else. When do we bring up marriage conditions in the dating phase? I mean, whatever marriage is brought up. Like, if you ask a person, which I think you need to know if they intend on getting married at any point in time, I think having a conversation about how you would want your marriage to be, that needs to be talked about. Like I said, my male friend, when he was talking about marriage with me, he wanted mistresses. And I said, I can't do that, but I'm sure someone on this live right now wouldn't mind it. He has a lot of money. There are some women that don't mind that. But you need to get that on paper. If he's going to have 2 mistresses, make sure that's in the prenuptial agreement. And you need to be getting compensated for that. Maybe you get 3 trips a year for vacation, or you get so many shopping sprees. Listen, that prenup can say whatever. That prenup can say whatever. So yeah, you don't have to have a traditional marriage. You just need to legalize it on paper. That's all I'm going to push. I'm not going to push traditionalism on a general platform like this. I'm just not. But I am going to keep it real with you though. You got to legalize that you're building with somebody else in the eyes of the law, or you will be screwed over. It doesn't matter if you wanted traditionalism or not. It does not matter. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. All they care about, yes, yes, he wanted mistresses with an S. And I said no. And listen, when y'all start dating men with money, girl, they gonna try a lot of things. That's why I'm like, be careful what you ask for. Y'all be asking for stuff and y'all not ready for what you asking for. Be careful what you ask for. That's why I said I need a medium finances, medium height, medium attractiveness, medium me up, because these other men, they be doing too much. They be doing way too much. Like, I'm like, sir, and you got to understand, every day they get on this app, they really think that because they have money, that they can really do whatever they want to do. Somebody said, wow, a marriage license is $35 in New York. That's what I said. And how much is a wheel? Look up how much a wheel is. Girl, it's a mess. That's why I'm like, listen, there's some women on here leading y'all down a path of just misery. How much is a wheel? A wheel is way more expensive than a marriage license. Yeah, I can't take him serious. I'm sorry. And listen, okay, now that y'all know that marriage is a license, okay, be careful who you go into business with. Some of these men have horrible spending. Horrible. They may have money, but they spend way more than they make. Listen, them princess movies didn't tell us this. I'm just saying, marriage is a business. Does this person have the type of character I would create a business? Right. You better say that. You better say that. Say that again, because that's ridiculous. You better say that. Okay. Just because he got a lot of money don't mean he know how to manage it well. And listen, women, we need to start thinking about these things. This is our job. This is our job. We gotta foresee our future. We gotta protect our future. We have to protect our children as well. We have to think about these things. We can't be thinking about the wedding and the ring and not be thinking this far ahead, because when things go wrong, you need to be protected. You and your kids, period. Nothing else. That's all that. I'm only going to highlight these things. I'm not going to highlight anything else, because really all that other stuff, whether you want a handbag, you allow mistresses in your wedding, girl, your marriage is open. That ain't my business. But the foundation, we need to understand that. The foundation is what really matters. I don't care about nothing else, because it ain't my business. I'm not going to be in your bedroom. I'm not going to be in your bedroom. I'm sorry. So what you do in your bedroom ain't my business, or what you allow in your bedroom is not my business. It's not. So yeah, I think that covers everything. And listen, we live in a time men want to complain about marriage and things like that. Just be honest. You know, if you want an open marriage, there are women out here that are okay with that. I'm not. But there are women out here that are okay with that. You just need to be honest and upfront with her. Okay, we got Tiana Taylors of the world. We do. We got Tiana Taylors of the world. So go get you a Tiana Taylor. A will can cost $300 to $1,000. Wow, I thought it was way more expensive than that. Are you sure? I guess it depends on the state, though. The will really depends on the cost of the will depends on the state. Let me see how much it is in Texas, because I think it's in Texas. See, here in Texas, it's between $250 to $2,500. Tiana Taylor has an open marriage, or she allows. I think they take down women together. I don't know. And listen, in your prenup, it needs to have no STDs, none of that. Regular, you can even put regular checkups. Your prenuptial agreement can be lengthy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Tiana Taylor. Yeah, they have threesomes and stuff. Listen, that ain't my business. I don't care about that. And there's a video that I made years ago. Don't go watch it because I feel so differently now. Like, I'm like, listen, do what you want to do. Traditionalism is not for everybody. That's how I feel today. But back then, you know, I was still deep in my organized religion. So you know how that be. But now it's just like I don't care. Like, just do what you want to do. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that covers everything, you guys. But start researching your options depending on your state or where you're thinking about moving to. If you're thinking about moving to a new city or something like that, you need to start looking into this because you need to just know this information. You don't want to be caught up in a situation where you don't know how the laws are in a particular state. If you do plan on moving forward with a marriage license to legalize what you're building with your spouse. Okay. Yeah, that covers everything. You guys have a wonderful night. And well, I guess I don't have to talk about this no more. I'm gonna see what else I can talk about. You can always DM me on Instagram if there's something that you would like for me to talk about. I'm sorry I don't get to read every DM that I receive because my DMs be flooded on a daily basis. So I do apologize if I don't get back to you. But if there's something that you want me to talk about by chance, I could see it in a DM and react to it or talk about it. But you guys have a lovely night, and I will see you guys maybe Saturday. It just depends on if there's something that sparks my interest to talk about. Okay. Bye, guys.